Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Fist and Jawa Save the Universe. I am Fist-25, one half of Fist and Jawa, and today we're going to take a first look at the Argo SRV, the tow truck of the Star Citizen universe. This is still kind of an in-development first look, so not all features are fully polished, and to be quite honest, ship tractor beams, in my opinion, still need quite a bit of work. But I want to show you the ship and kind of how some of this towing mechanics will work. We're out here to ArcCorp Area 056 on Jawa in the ArcCorp system, one of the ArcCorp moons. And yeah, we're gonna take a look. I just had the pleasure of watching a tractor beam work on a great caterpillar, and a person brought a mule into the cargo bay area of the caterpillar with its tractor beam. So that was really neat. That was just right here at the station. So I'm really excited about the tractor beam tech here. And I actually made this video before, a little bit of it, and it just wasn't working right. So I decided to redo it again. So you don't get my very first reaction to the SRV, but maybe a little bit more refined, because I think I know a little bit more about this ship now. And as you can see, I am being illuminated by the lights on the SRV, which are on all the time. And when the ship is not powered on, the lights are really bright, like they're actually on. So I don't know if that's a bug or if that's by design or what, but let's go ahead and take a look at the SRV. Okay, there we are. There's the SRV. There's this caterpillar I was talking about earlier. The guy still hasn't taken off yet. The SRV is made by Argo Astronautics, the same people that bring you the maglev trains and the Argo Raft and the Mole, and it's just very industrial type of vehicle. As you can tell, it looks very much like a little bit like an MPUV mixed with a raft, with a little bit of Mole in there. It's got that standard orange Argo color with this cab up here. I actually really like this Argo industrial look. It is a symmetrical ship, and it is a single person ship. I mean, I guess you could have two people working in shifts, but it's really designed as a solo tow truck, sort of like the Prospector is designed to just do one thing, you know, like a single miner. Up here we have like the thrusters on the side, the maneuvering thrusters. There are actually 3 different VTOL engines. So here is the first one right here, and these do rotate back. It's in a VTOL configuration right now. A lot of this stuff is just, you know, it's beautiful, but it's all flavor, industrial looking type of stuff. These are the braking engines, so that will provide your reverse thrust. Another VTOL up here on the side of the SRV, and another, so more orange, another maneuvering thruster, and the final VTOL engine, if you will. Then kind of coming around the back, it does have some dedicated engines, and you can see in the middle this giant, well, I don't know if I'd say giant, it's a large, oh, there goes the caterpillar. It is a pretty big size tractor beam, and it is on a remote turret that you operate from the pilot's seat. There, you guys will see very shortly. Make sure to pay attention to the markers down below in the YouTube video, as you'll be able to skip along if you want to. Yeah, that's the big tractor beam, and it kind of works up and down and side to side off of this remote turret here. The other side of the ship is exactly like the port side, the starboard side here. It's a symmetrical ship. It's got tricycle landing gear with a beefy front landing. Now, earlier I thought this thing didn't have any type of cargo capacity, but I was wrong. It actually does right here. There is cargo access in the SRV. Not a lot of cargo access. I don't know how many SCU this is. It looks like maybe 8, maybe 10. And this doesn't actually go anywhere. There is no access from the ship itself. But if you get trapped in there, you could hit open and close. As you can see, there's really nothing in there. It is just a place for cargo, folks. And the way to enter the Argo SRV, the spaceship or space recovery vehicle, is through the elevator open, very similar to a Constellation Andromeda. Now keep an eye on the landing gear, because this is a bug with the ship right now. As this elevator comes down, oh, it doesn't want to do it this time. Well, earlier when I did this the first time, this thing came down just a little too far, and the ship started rocking back and forth. Of course, it doesn't do it when I'm... Okay, so we're going to close this, and we're going to enter the SRV, and look how smooth that was. Very nice, smoother than the Constellation by far. Up here is the cockpit. Notice the door doesn't automatically open. We actually need to hit the button. In this midships area, we do have our component access. We have our shield generator and jump drive. You can click these little buttons and open the compartments. For instance, there is our battery and grav gen compartment. Looks like we do have a battery. Future engineering gameplay right there. And then we can close the compartments over here. Life support, radar relay, a cooler, and a power plant. Here is the lift button to do our elevator. And then back here is the habs. We're going to go ahead and open up our habs. And look, it looks actually really nice. It reminds me a little bit of a mole. And here we are actually back on the ship. Sorry about that hiccup. The experimental PTU has been having quite a few crashes to desktops lately. But this tells me server recovery is working, at least for right now, getting me back on the right server that I was on. So I'm not sure if that's just because there's not a lot of people playing or what. But nevertheless, here we are into the hab of the Argo SRV. One thing I haven't been able to find, and if you guys know where it's at, I haven't been able to find the internal ship inventory. Obviously, I can just hit I and go to inventory, but sometimes there actually is some button to click or something like that, and I just haven't seen it. All right, folks, so I am gonna do a quick cut here into this poorly made video, and thanks to Optimisto, who is in the restroom looking like Cobra Commander, we did find the ship storage for the SRV. It is under the bed, this little red handle. So if you click that, that takes you to the ship storage. So let's see what's in the hab. There is a nice little table area where you can sit down on either side. So I guess most meals you'll be having alone. There is a bed, just like a prospector. You can sleep here, lie down, and there's a little screen that I'm not sure if you're ever going to work. There is a suit locker and a bathroom, full bathroom in here. This is a full toilet going on. There's the shower. And then we can actually open up our toilet for future hygiene gameplay. Then over here, this is actually like a suit locker, so you don't have to be in your, your spacesuit the whole time. I'll be glad when these actually work and we can do stuff in there. And then this is a gun rack here, so you'll be able to put all your weapons, well, not all your weapons, but some weapons in storage right there. I just don't see anywhere else to actually hit a storage button. That is pretty much it for the hab area. There is a nice window back here so you can see what's going on with your tractor beam, but you're going to actually operate it from the front. So speaking of the front, let's go ahead and open up the cockpit area. Pretty standard cab for an Argo ship here. I'm not sure what this is, but hopefully that actually has a purpose in the future. Same with this guy. There is no real interactions here except in the cockpit. Notice right away from the cockpit there are two sticks. So this is a host SAS setup, hands on stick and stick, and there's two MFDs. So pretty bare bones as far as controls in the Argo SRV. So as we turn around into the cockpit, let's go ahead and give ourselves a quick cockpit tour. I'm going to power on. There we go. We're powered on with the SRV. Taking a quick look around, as you can see again, there's nothing on the stick here, but it is kind of a host SAS setup. Looking down at our 2D radar here for Argo, there's an exit button over here. There's an enter remote turret. There is, oh, missed it. Let's try this again. Not lighting up green right now. I'm not sure why. There's engine on, engine off. There's a power button over up here. There's a power button. But basically how we're going to get into the remote turret is into remote turret, and we're going to do that in a few minutes. Then there's two full functioning MFDs, and that's really about it, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at the exterior of the ship while we're parked here. When I turned this on, it did flip my engines. Oh, see, it was VTOL, and it wasn't VTOL, but it actually was VTOL. So we're going to keep them in the VTOL configuration. You see, it does look good from the top. I haven't found a way really to just access the top like some of the other ships we have. I think that would have been a cool feature. You know, I want to be like a tow truck driver, a real industrial type of dude, and have to sling chains on something. Okay, with that, I'm going to head on over to the vehicle pad. I'm going to grab a vehicle. Oh, one more thing here. Let's take a look at the lights. These are with the lights off, guys. This is right. I don't know if this is a bug or by design, but these are the cab lights that are always on for the SRV. And when I hit lights, they actually become really bright, but they're actually always on. So when you turn off power right now with the ship, this may be changed in the future. It does turn on the lights by default. So don't freak out when you get to your hangar bay and it's super bright like the lights are on, because they are. So I'm going to head on over to the pad. I'm going to pull like a Pisces or some kind of vehicle, park it just outside of Armistice, and we're going to see how towing works, see if it was better than the other day, because I was losing the things I had towed really easily. We'll enter some quantum. We'll see what we can do here with the SRV. And one last thing before I go. The SRV has no weapons, no guns at all in the SRV. When you're towing from the cockpit in this view or from the remote turret view, when you left click, that is your tractor beam. So please just keep that in mind. It does have shields, and we'll go into components later, but it does not have any weapons. So with that, stay tuned, and I'll be right back, and we'll get off and we'll tow something. All right, folks, so here we are back in the SRV. I just went and parked a Pisces just outside of Armistice, and we're gonna go pick it up with the SRV and try to tow it out to space and into quantum and things like that. So with that, the ship is on, it's ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and lift off. Very, very smooth liftoff with the SRV, and I'm gonna cycle my landing gear up. You can see, here we go. Looks like that gear is still down, but I believe it is up. It's just kind of like an animation delay. I am gonna keep VTOL on. I took, there's the pads down here. I basically flew the Pisces straight away this way. I'm gonna keep VTOL on because VTOL, vertical takeoff and landing on, because it does give me a little bit more control authority with the SRV, especially moving slowly. Now notice it's real hard to see the Pisces. Do you guys see it on the screen? Yeah, you can see it now, but it was dark and black and yeah, kind of hard to see. I see it there because it's my ship and it's a ship, but I had trouble with an earlier version of the packs just doing a scan, and it wasn't really showing up. So just keep that in mind. Yes, you can scan with the SRV. So I'm gonna want to pull in front of the Pisces. So third person view is probably good here. I'm gonna kind of point up just about like that. And here's a tip, I guess. Center your reticle as much as possible before you go into the remote turret, because you don't want to be drifting around in the ship while you're trying to tow. So I'm going to go ahead and enter the remote turret, and here we are in the back, and you can see the different holograms on the screen here. You see there's mass exceeded, a range, an altitude, kind of a 3D position in space, a force sufficient, and a force gauge, and it shows that I'm in towing mode. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit T and target the Pisces. Now it says there's force sufficient. Looks like 48,000 tons maybe it can lift. I'm not sure. It gives us our current altitude. And I'm going to left click. And there we go. So the Pisces is locked in. I'm going to go ahead and bring this up. So yes, we are officially towing a ship right now. Notice how wonky that tractor beam is. I hope this gets improved upon because it's not great right now. As I move the ship kind of around, and yes, if I slam it into the ground, it will blow up, and that's probably not a good thing. I want to keep my reticle as centered as I can. And you can see it says target in tow, Anvil Pisces. It kind of shows us where we're at in space. I'm going to hit C. We're not going to center. Okay, that's fine. But I do want to center my reticle as much as possible. Let's go ahead and move it around. You can see we can move the ship around a little bit. I don't want to go too crazy or it'll lose the tractor and it'll fling it off somewhere, and I've had a real hard time finding them again. As I move it down, you can see that little X in space. I think it kind of has a ground plane on there, and we can move it around left and right as well. If I hold down R and I move the tractor beam, nothing really happens. There is no rotational effect like you would have with a hand tractor beam. And if I scroll my mouse wheel left and right, also nothing happens. So this is going to have to be some precise moving and manipulating. Maybe that feature is just not in yet, as this is still in development. I'm not sure. But I want to keep my reticle centered, and I'm going to go back to my cockpit. And there we go. So I just went back to the cockpit, and it sounds like we lost our Pisces. Yes, it went and it hit the ground. Look how high up our tractor beam was. So with that, we can still tow it. Let's go enter the remote turret. We'll turn off our beam. We're going to tow the Pisces again. Okay. that wasn't awesome. This used to have a really annoying ping sound, and keep in mind you cannot tow anything with the shields on, so also keep that in mind. You have to have the shields off. I'm going to attempt to go back to, I'm gonna go up immediately. We're gonna go in third person. You can see the Pisces is with us. It's bouncing around quite a bit as the tractor beam is trying to hold on to it. That could be a server issue. It could not be. I don't know. It could just be the tech is a little wonky still. But back into the thing is getting the reticle centered and not moving around too much with your load, with your tow load. See, the ship is still actually moving, even though reticle is just not moving much. And the Pisces may be having an effect on that as well. So we're going to go ahead and easily go forward. I'm going to stick it in cruise control. And we're going to be towing the Pisces with us. So you see we are leaving area 056 here. Tractor beam is up a little bit from like its standard location. And notice how the HUD completely changed here. Now we actually have the tractor beam HUD, if you will. So interesting. On the bottom left here, we have, our speed. I'll go ahead and increase that a little bit. Not too much. And we'll check, make sure we still have the Pisces. It's yellow now. I don't necessarily know what that means when it's yellow. But it's it's interesting. It's very tenuous to do this. And it's like, I don't want to lose it. I just want to tow something. And I feel like I'm going pretty steady, and then I lost the tether. I lost the tether. So I'm actually going to go look for it, and we'll see if we find it. If not, I'll pull another one, and we'll try this again. All right, folks, as you can see, I pulled out another Pisces. I wasn't able to find the original one. we're going to give it a shot to go ahead and go this guy. We're going to come up a little higher. We're just going to aim our ship a little bit more. And here's the turret. As you can see, we do have quite a bit of movement in our turret here. I feel like the center, the C does not work to center the turret. So we're going to go ahead and target this Pisces and left click. Now we are tractoring. So I'm going to pretty much center the reticle. Target is in tow. Back to the ship. We're just going to start moving. We're not going to go too crazy because we can kind of see where our target's at here. Is tether going crazy? I don't love that stuff on the top there where it shows our target kind of going crazy. Cruise control. Take a look from the outside. Yeah, it's going. It's moving around in little circles and stuff. Let's see if we can get, of course, I'm not lined up at a quantum marker at all. And we're not even high enough yet to quantum. Got to get to roughly 3,000 meters. We're going to slowly edge the ship around. Hopefully not lose. Very slow movements. See if we can find a wind marker. Not lose our ship. We have in tow. Actually, I'm going to come to kind of a stop here. Make sure we still have our ship towed. Yep, it's still attached. Let's move our SRV over gently. There's an OM mark right there. We're going to spool up on that. The Pisces is moving our ship around as well. And we're going to quantum to it. We still have the Pisces attached to us, and now we are in space. So let's see if we can go to our map. Kind of in the ArcCorp system here. Let's see if we can clear that. I'm not loving this experimental PTU here. If we can find Bike Genie Point, set a route. Looks like we still have our Pisces in tow. This is a little further than I actually got yesterday. And we're going to move our ship around. We're going to try to get to Bike Genie. I don't know if this is actually going to work when we hit Armistice, if we even make it there. And let's go to Bike Genie. So we're still towing this thing in quantum. And you can see it's yellow, so it's not great for the turret. Let's see what happens. Okay, we came out of quantum. Now it's green again. Okay, that's good. Good. Now we need to find the station. Of course, it just took us to Arc instead. We will head up to our marker. Looks like we still have our ship. It's bouncing around the top of our radar screen. I'll spool up to Bike Genie. Attempt to quantum. Doesn't really want to take us. Oh, now we're complete. It's funny. It didn't feel like we're complete. We still have our ship. No, we lost our ship. Lost the ship. See if I can. Oh, see, this is why it's to the remote turret. Not sure why we lost the ship. We're going to try to get it back. Okay, we actually got it back. Center this turret. Back into our ship here. See how this is kind of frustrating? Okay, it's still in tow. We're going to enter quantum. It's like we actually still have the ship. I'm going to go forward a little bit. See kind of what happens if it slings around. Oh, of course, there's someone else watching us. No, we're going to lose that tether. Yes, we lost the tether. Enter the remote turret. Oh, we're being scanned. So let's go in. Of course we are.
All right. Everything checks out.
Oh, what a... Well, at least I can see where it says Pisces now. Okay, it's just floating around in space at this point. It's a lot more difficult than it looks like. Okay. Let's go forward. Come to a complete stop. Okay, we'll try to enter our remote turret. Target the Pisces. Engage the tractor beam. Center our turret. Okay. Now we are actually in towing mode again. Head up. Try to head up to Bike Genie. See what it looks like. It is behind us. It's directly behind us. Line up for Bike Genie. Let's see if quantum works this time. Of course not. Let's try this old trick. Oh, I think we lost it. I think, oh, no, it's still there, but it's way closer now. Okay, so now it spools out a little bit. And it looks like we were going to lose that tether. I don't know why it's so close right now. Let's head towards my Genie. Are we still in towing mode? Nope, we lost. Okay, let's go backwards. Oh, backwards. Let's enter the turret. Range, it's 460 meters away. Hey guys, so I'm going to cut myself off here after many days of EPTU filming and trying to capture different Pisces, different vehicles, different ships. We found out that there is still, even today, an issue with being able to find a ship or find a towing target, and then this is after you quantuming your ship and then lock onto it and be able to tow it. The issue that I found and people in the issue council have found is that it comes after you quantum in the SRV, which pretty much means you have to go anywhere. So after you quantum, you're going to have to stop where you're at, whether it's in space or on the ground, and actually go into your ship and bed log out. And then hopefully you'll get back on the same shard when you re-enter the game, and then the ship works again. It's kind of like pulling the ship, restoring the ship and pulling the ship back out. That has also worked for some people. And then I'm able to tow a target again. Towing is a little bit better today. 4 days later, after trying this, we tried, I think, 38 attempts, and we finally kind of figured that out and how to get that workaround going. So I'm going to put a little segment in here about the workaround, and then we're going to end the video because there's not much more to say. I know I said we're going to do components, and I wanted to. They're industrial grade C and grade B and grade D size 2 components in the SRV, and they are still highly subject to change. So with that being said, thank you for watching so far. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video. Come on down into the Discord, join us in the B team stream and Jawa with Jawa. It'll be interesting to see if CIG can actually work this out and get the ship ready to go before IAE. I really hope they do, because it's going to be pretty cool. What we haven't been able to do, the one thing holding me back, is actually being able to move the ship around while it's in tow with the SRV. It works with all other tractor beams, including ship tractor beams, to hold down the left alt button and use your scroll wheel to move in and out, and to hold down R and to move the mouse around to rotate. It does not work with the SRV right now. If you know of another key command or shortcut or how to do that, please, by all means, let me know, because I looked at the key bindings, couldn't find it, and I'm having a hard time with that. Other than that, I'd say the ship has promise, and I hope they get it fixed. With that, we'll cut out to this part of the video where we'll talk about quantuming a little bit with a Connie Taurus, and then we'll end the video with me in the cockpit of the SRV. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. All right, folks, so it looks like we found a workaround for the issue with not being able to tow, as we have tried this 38 times now. And that's whenever you quantum right now in the EPTU, you're not able to target and actually lock on with the tractor beam and move something around anytime you quantum in the SRV. But one of the workarounds is logging out in the bed and then coming right back in the game. Because I have a friend who's in a ship right behind the SRV, I'm able to get back into the same shard. And so let me get back up here, hop in the pilot seat. We'll start the ship back up and attempt to actually lock on and tow. So entering the remote turret. So able to lock on now, and now I have range warning and force insufficient. And as I lock on there, it's a yellow target. And it looks, yep, I am moving the ship. Looks like it's pretty heavy. And one of the other problems I've had is that as I'm moving the ship, the other ship will actually move the SRV quite a bit. So now it's in the green zone. I'm guessing that's what it needs to be to actually quantum with it. Like I said, there's issues with quantum and using this. Now, ideally, as with every other tractor beam, if you hit left alt and you use the scroll wheel, you'll be able to move the tow target or the tractor target in and out. As you can see, that actually doesn't do anything for us here. So I think that feature right now is broken, if it even is a feature. I would imagine it would be, because otherwise, what's the point if you're going to use the SRV to manipulate a vehicle into a repair facility or something like that? But I'm holding down control, using the scroll wheel, nothing's going on. And if I hold down R and I move my mouse, move the scroll wheel, you see it also does not rotate. So that is kind of what's going on with the SRV. And now we'll cut back to normal, I guess, ending or whatever's next on the video, because this is 4 days later from the original filming. And one thing we'll do, we'll test one last thing with this thing in the green zone and targeted. I'll go back into the SRV. I'll go ahead and put some throttle on. You can see that ship is moving the SRV a little bit. There we go. And it's towing a rather large Connie here. And the whole idea is not to lose the tether. And I'm getting tether warnings. Trying to keep the whole dot in the... Oh. Yeah, this is harder than it looks. You guys can see that the tether is still holding right now. I want to try to quantum somewhere. Even though that Taurus is just spinning around like crazy, I want to try to move slow. And I'm going to set up Lyria, I guess, for a quantum. It might end up breaking the tow right now because of the state of this, and I just hit quantum, and it looks like I lost the target. But let's see if it's actually towing with us. It looks like it's off to the side in quantum. It's weird. I think this mechanic really needs to be refined. It just needs a lot of work, especially prior to like an IAE coming out. And it looks like coming out of quantum, the tractor beam is still hooked up, but I don't see a Connie. Yeah, and talking to my teammate here, he says he lost me, but the tractor beam is still engaged. So looks like we actually did lose the Connie. So more work to be done on this, folks. Work in progress, and hopefully it'll be ready by the time I do a real review on the ship. So found out a couple things, and good luck with your own adventures in the Argo SRV. All right, folks, so that is the first look at the Argo SRV with our Pisces kind of flying away. You can see that this tech is new. It's pretty cool. We were able to successfully bring a Pisces from Walla out into quantum a couple times, over to Bygenie Point. Not that we can do anything with it at this point, but I'm excited to see where this tech goes. So I'm going to check out some other tractor beams. I'm going to go fly around the C1 Spirit and hopefully make a first look on that. With that, I'm Fist-25. If you liked this video, if you have any tips or tricks for towing, please put it in the comments below. And if you like the video, please hit subscribe. Check out our Discord, the B Team. We stream every Thursday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, and Jawa with Jawa streams on Twitch every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. And with that, we'll see you in the next video. Take care of each other, and good night, Stanton.